Hey folks, I'm Rainiac and I'm back with another Doctor Who review, this time a special Doctor Who review, the Christmas special of 2015, The Husbands of River Song, which is kind of awkward because when we're recording this, it's neither Christmas nor 2015 anymore.
Yep.
Yeah, kind of awkward.
Punctual.
There were reasons, but I won't go into them. I've already gone into them in that update video I did that was a one-off. Anyway, yeah, we're here to review The Husbands of River Song, and I have just the one guest with me.
Yep. Just me.
And nothing happened to the other two whatsoever.
Nope. They're perfectly fine. We promise. They're not. Help
Well,
me. He's a madman.
don't know why I'm laughing at that. That's kind of sinister. Anyway, yeah, we've had a discussion about how we're going to do this, and we've decided we're going to drop the usual layout because it's kind of holding us back. So there will be no synopsis because at this point everyone should have seen it by now because it's like 10 days old.
Yeah.
In fact, 2 weeks old. It's even older than that.
Honestly, if you're watching this review and you haven't seen it, what the fuck?
What she said. Pretty much what she said. So, no synopsis, and we're not going to be tied down to this whole, oh, we can't talk about this thing because that's just silly. We're going to give ourselves free reign, so we can go hog wild.
Rainiac, we're not David Cameron.
God damn it, Kate, you're not Fresno. You're not Fresno or Charlie Brooker. Only they get to make the pig yams.
No, but do you know who I am?
You're going to say you're Frisky Inferno.
No, I'm John Cena!
Oh. 2 minutes in, and two memes in a row.
I am the meme queen of 2016.
What?
I have no idea. Let's just keep going.
That's a good idea because we're kind of pressed for time here. Anyway, what did you think of the Doctor?
Do you need a second?
I'm fine. What do you think of the Doctor in this episode?
Well, I thought he was pretty damn good. He was sort of a mashup of, the person he was before Clara and the person he was after Clara, with the whole fuckery of heaven and hell happening. So it was interesting to see not only a technically more innocent doctor, quote unquote, but also still have the whole, Peter Capaldi badass doctor within it.
Yeah, and it was clear to me, anyway, how much Peter Capaldi was actually enjoying himself while filming this.
Oh, yeah.
He has great enthusiasm throughout the first 2/3 of the episode.
And he has great emotional acting at the end of the episode as well.
Oh yeah, it's the first time I think he's cried in a long time.
Oh,
He didn't cry during Hell Bend, and that was super emotional.
yeah.
Or Heaven Sent, or any of those other very emotional stories. But he cries here.
Well, more than likely, the other stories didn't call for him to cry, so.
Well, Heaven Sent, when he realizes that Clara's still going to be gone no matter what he does.
Yeah.
But I digress. Yeah, I think it's a fantastic performance yet again by Peter Capaldi, but we're so used to it by now.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to talk about somebody who keeps knocking it out of the park, and the only time he doesn't knock it out of the park is when the writing goes against him, so. It's hard.
That means that we want him to fail. We don't, by the way. Moffat,
No.
if you're hearing this, don't change anything.
Don't fuck it up.
Don't change anything.
You have a whole brand new year full of possibilities. Don't fuck it up.
You heard her. You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. I like how the roles are basically the Doctor in most stories. He knows it all, or he thinks he knows it all. Usually he's right, not always. Here he has to do the opposite, pretend he doesn't know anything.
Yeah, I think the only other time this kind of was used was for, what was it, the next Doctor, the one where the guy thought he was the Doctor?
Yeah, the next Doctor.
Yeah, that was kind of the Doctor becoming the companion, but here he really went all out with it.
I think this works better than Next Doctor, personally.
Oh yeah, totally.
Next Doctor was okay. It wasn't terrible. But
No,
this is
no, it
better.
just was weird.
Yeah,
Yeah, in this case, he kind of tries to tell River who he is, and where it's like it's kind of not it doesn't work all the time. You have somebody who's like, I'm this person. It's like, no, you can't be this person. This person's like this. So it's like that kind of humor doesn't always work.
yeah.
But here I think it does.
She doesn't twig, and it's hilarious the fact she doesn't twig.
Because yeah, it's like she's not the one who starts out the misunderstanding. Somebody else does, and she just runs with it. But also the fact that she doesn't know this face. By the way, I love the little wallet, folding out to all the pictures of the doctor. I love that.
Yeah.
She doesn't know this face. So she has to take it at, pardon the pun, face value as to who he is.
Pun forgiven, I've heard far worse from Fresno and Kachiri.
Yeah. So it's one of those things where, like I said, usually this humor doesn't work. Here it does because it's explained better. It's done better.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right there. And his reaction to the TARDIS, it still
It
makes
is
me
the
laugh.
best.
It makes me laugh just now thinking about it again.
It really shows off Capaldi's acting chops that he can not only act as the doctor, but also act as the doctor trying to act as a companion. Basically saying what he's always wanted to hear.
My entire grasp of Euclidean geometry has been destroyed.
Seriously, I have no idea how River didn't figure it out from that one moment.
It's so over the top, and it works because it's so over the top.
Yeah.
I mean, some people didn't like the excess comedy in this episode. Nash, I think, particularly, as in, what the fuck is wrong with you? That Nash. He didn't like it at all because he just tweeted, "The Husbands of River song." Ugh. That was his one tweet at Christmas. I think he's being a bit of a Grinch.
Yeah.
I like Nash, but
Honestly, I thought it was harmless.
I like Nash, but personally, I think he was way off base there. Yeah, it's certainly harmless. The first
It's
40
harmless.
minutes is just a big Christmas comedy romp. And then suddenly it changes to something far more emotional and profound.
And really, isn't that what Christmas is about? It's about having fun with your friends and your family, and sometimes it gets emotional, and then you find out that the person who loved you doesn't actually love you, and what the fuck is wrong with you, and why can't you love me? I'm okay.
Are you sure?
I mean, we write songs about that kind of thing. Last Christmas, I gave you my heart, but the very next day you gave it away.
Yes. And that didn't get to Christmas number one because
This
Band-Aid.
is the
But
kind of thing that Christmas is about.
yeah. And exactly. And sometimes when we have this sort of bizarre tonal shift, it doesn't work for me. And here it absolutely did. And as I say, it was the emotional heartbeat of this entire episode, and it worked so well. And the two lead actors, their acting off each other was superb. The chemistry was superb throughout with each other, but in this scene in particular, they were just wonderful.
Yeah.
And they built up to it so well as well with the diary that was running out of pages, and the fact that we already know where River's story ended. Of course, Derillium shows up and could they be doing this? Oh, you bet they can. You bet they are.
Yeah.
We're ending the story of Riversop, I believe, anyway. She could come back.
Yeah, I mean, it would probably have to be an earlier iteration just because of the way the timeline is, but more than likely she can come back.
Well, they did already have River after the end of her timeline in The Name of the Doctor, so she could come back if she wants to. I don't know, though. I kind of get the feeling that Stephen Moffat was wrapping up everything.
Probably. I mean, I know there are some people who didn't really like River all that much, so
Funny you should mention that, because he was concerned before this episode aired that they were going to ruin continuity with River, which is odd because, as you say, he didn't really like River that much. But he was worried they were going to ruin the continuity because there's a mini episode called Last Night with Matt Smith and Alex Kingston where the Doctor is preparing to take River to Derillium. And he was like, oh, they're going to redo Derillium and it's going to completely make that like it never happened, and it's going to be terrible, yada, 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 yada. The episode aired, he loved it. And he absolutely loved the scene between River and the Doctor.
And guess what? They used the sonic sunglasses, so suck on that, Kachiri.
They, making a whole deal out of this new sonic screwdriver and putting it in the pre-publicity shots, it got news once. It got news just the one time. It was very odd. I suspect we'll get more news out of it in the next series, but that's just me.
Well, it could be one of those things where, it could be one of those things where he got so used to using the sunglasses, he immediately whips it out and puts them on his face rather than using the screwdriver. Because except for the 4 billion years that he spent in the confession dial, we don't know how long he's been using the sunglasses for, because time is very fluid within the episodes.
Yes.
We don't know how much time passes between each episode, so for all we know, he could have been using the sunglasses for an extremely long time and just got used to them.
Don't get me started again on the 4.5 million years. Or
Yeah,
billion years.
that's why I sort of mumbled
It's okay, yeah. But yeah, I mean, Moffat was really wrapping up plot strands between this and Hell Bent. It's almost like I get the feeling this was going to be his final story that he wrote.
I don't know.
His swan song.
I don't know. I haven't heard any announcements. Have you?
It isn't. I can tell you right now it isn't, because we know he's back for Series 10. But
Hooray.
it's like he was trying to provide a clean slate for whoever his successor would be. So it's kind of strange.
I don't know.
So I think he wrote this thinking it might be his last story, and he better go out and finish everything up. But it's not his last story. We've got another series of him.
Well, at least he finally learned how to wrap up stuff.
That's
Only
why
he could do it for other things.
That's what gave me the swan song idea. But
where's Gus? I want Gus.
That's about the one plot strand we haven't had resolved now.
Seriously.
We've resolved Clara. We think we've resolved River now.
Mostly.
So yeah. But speaking of River, I really enjoyed Alex Kingston's performance here.
Oh, she's always fun. I don't care what Kachiri says. I love River Song.
Yeah, I think River Song's a great character. I didn't always like her, but she grew on me.
She's one of those characters where she can be like the Doctor. Her origins aside, she can be like the Doctor, but she actively chooses not to, because she realizes that sometimes, not only sometimes do you have to do things that most people would not agree with, but sometimes it's just more fun to do things a certain way.
Yeah.
Or in the case of this episode, getting the diamond out of Halifax, or Hydrofax, however you pronounce this stupid name.
Halifax?
Whatever. I've seen people write it different ways here, okay?
Cat, he's not a British bank. Hydroflax.
Whatever. So, Water String Guy has a diamond in his head, and River decides that the easiest way to get it out is to just take his head off.
Yes. Why not? Why not?
Of course, he preempts them by actually taking his own head off, but,
And can I just say, his Hydroflax wasn't a great villain, but his face when he takes his head off cracked me up.
Seriously, Greg Davies, he has an awesome face. He has a very expressive, useful face.
I knew as soon as they cast him, he was going to be pretty good in this role. It's not him that's the problem, it is the role. The role is very limiting, but he does the best of what he's given.
Yeah, and it is the fact that he doesn't exactly have a body. He just has his head to work with. But I think he really nails that part.
His best moments are when he is, just ahead.
Yeah.
His best moments are probably when he's in the bag. Do not put me in the bag!
We're being threatened by a bag.
They showed that in the trailer, but it still makes me laugh.
Yeah.
We're being threatened by a head in a bag. And then again, you get another moment where you think, surely she'll work out who he is now, and she doesn't.
Yeah, either River was being very, very stubborn, or she wasn't really listening to him.
I think,
maybe both.
She explains it in her monologue. She explains it in that beautiful monologue about loving the stars, not expecting the sunset to admire you back.
True.
She loves him. She doesn't think he loves her. Turns out she's wrong, but that's what she believes.
And then cue all the Doctor Who fanboys and fangirls saying, no, the doctors can't love. To which I say, fuck you!
Of course the doctors can love.
Well, I mean more like the people who say, oh no, the doctor can't settle down with one person. They have to have a whole bunch of different companions and be, this crazy kooky person that just flies around in a box. If they fall in love, then it's not a true thing to the doctor. And it's like, you know what? Shut up.
Yeah, shut up. Shut up is right. I'm sorry. I don't usually get confrontational with these, but you're right.
Because, I mean, the whole idea of a character, whether it be the Doctor or River Song or any of the villains or whatever, the whole idea of a character in a story is that you can humanize them, even if they're not human. That's why, whenever somebody sees a dog smiling, they say, oh, look, the dog's smiling. It's happy. That's not exactly what it means to a dog, though.
Yeah,
That's how we interpret it. And by doing that, we become closer to the characters, the beings that we have come to love.
yeah, exactly. What the well written characters anyway are
Yeah.
humanized.
Yeah. By denying the idea that the Doctor and River are allowed to love each other, you are essentially dehumanizing the Doctor, making him a less relatable character
Which is
than he
deft.
already is.
Which is super deft.
Yeah. He
But
already is kind of, with him being super smart and knowing all this alien technology, it's hard to relate to him that way. But in the emotional aspect, you have to make sure that you can relate to him.
yeah. Back to River then. I mentioned how the Doctor's new sonic screwdriver got very little screen time. So did her sonic trowel that she had.
Probably because it was even worse than the sunglasses.
Well, I kind of like the sunglasses. The trowel was
Well,
shameful.
I'm saying in like here's a pair of sunglasses. Okay, that could be kind of useful. Here's a shovel. Here's a small, tiny shovel, a
Yeah,
trowel.
that
Okay,
shovel,
you can sonically dig up dirt.
that shovel slash trowel, whatever you want to call it, was again featured heavily in the pre-airing publicity shots, and they did very little. But in this case, I think it was actually a good thing it did little.
My biggest guess is that since she is an archaeologist, it was just one of her archaeology tools that she upgraded. So
Yeah,
it does work for her,
it
but
was a gag, and it worked as a gag. It
it's
was
still
good.
silly.
Yeah, River does get some of the best lines in this episode as well.
I will say it does contribute to the story though, because at the end it's the reason that the Doctor gives her her own sonic screwdriver. So
That's true. I've forgotten about that. Yeah, well
yep,
remembered. Um, Another thing I like about River is how she's been secretly making trips in the TARDIS where the Doctor's not in the know,
yeah,
and has
yeah.
stored brandy in the TARDIS. You think he'd know? You think he'd notice? Oh, that wall's looking a bit strange.
You know what? I think River and the TARDIS are in on it with each other because she River actually knows how to drive the TARDIS with the brake off.
Yes, because she's a child of the TARDIS.
Yeah,
If
so
you
more
really,
than likely they have a bond, and the TARDIS is like, okay, sure, let's just be very, very, very quiet when we do
yeah.
this.
I won't tell Daddy about the drinking problem. Another thing I loved about, sorry, I'm just going through my notes quickly here. Another thing I loved about River is the way her rage is building when the blue guy, Fleming,
Fleming.
yeah, Fleming gets her diary and is
Oh
reading it
man.
off. Her rage is slowly building up and up and up.
Oh yeah.
I'm going to kill you. And the longer you read that, the longer it's going to take. So by all means, please do continue. Wow. She's a good actress.
Oh yeah.
She is a good actress. She also gets some of the best lines of the episode. The monologue, of course, which we've already raved about. But also, I'm an archaeologist in the future. I dug you up. See you in 400 years. Wow. Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Stone cold.
Well, she is.
Steve Austin.
By God, no, seriously, seriously, that line's stone cold. But she has been in the past with the Dalek and the Big Bang. River's not a nice person.
No.
She's not an evil person, but she's well. That's
Anti-hero.
that's the anti-hero. Thank you. That's the term I was looking for.
She's like Deadpool without the crazy.
She. That's not a bad comparison.
Speaking of which, go see Deadpool in February.
I
Because I know I'm going to.
I concur. I will try and go and see Deadpool the same week it's released if possible.
I'm going to go on Valentine's Day and try to see how many couples are there.
That would be amazing. Anyway, back to Doctor Who. We get our third instance of actual swearing this past year. But it wasn't actually said, it was implied. When he teleports her away to the tower, she goes, "You," and it's obvious the next word is bastard, but she only gets to mouth it. Apparently that's our third instance of swearing, but I can't remember the other two.
Well, I know one is Dark Water, where the sonic, or not the sonic, the psychic paper is supposedly has a lot of cursing on it.
Oh yeah, well that wasn't actually said though, was it? I mean,
no, but it was implied.
I think this person is possibly making it up then, but we did get some swearing. Back to Hydroflax then. Yeah, he was a pantomime villain, but he worked well enough. The diamond stuck in his brain, that reminded me of James Bond.
Really?
Yeah, The World Is Not Enough. I don't know if you've seen this film.
No.
Well, it's not too much of a spoiler because it's like the first 15 minutes of the film. The villain has a bullet lodged in his head. And it's slowly killing him, like the diamond is slowly killing Hydroflax. And they even show off his head with a 3D hologram like they do with the King. So that was just kind of a comparison I drew with that. There were actually two actors, though, playing Hydroflax, and this was a bit I was a little bit disappointed about. There's an actor called, I have to apologise here because I'm going to butcher his name, Nonzo Anonzi. And he's been in a few things I watched last year, and he was very good in them. So I was excited when I found out he was going to be a guest star in this episode. And then he doesn't turn up in the episode, and I'm like, well, where is he? Did he get cut or what?
Oh no, he's there.
I look at the credits, and it says voice of King Hydroflax's body, Nonzo Anonzi. I'm like, oh. Disappointed.
Technically, we had three because Liam Cook was also playing Hydroflax's body.
Yeah, he was playing Hydroflax's body as well. So yeah, three actors for the same character. That's pretty impressive. This is not the first time that an actor has been reduced to a voice role when they really should have gotten something more substantial on camera. The most obvious one I can think of is the Snowman, Ian McKellen.
Wait, he was in that?
He was the voice of the Snowman.
So he got to growl like 3 different growls and then he was done for the day?
Well, he was the Great Intelligence, sorry. He was the Great Intelligence. That was
Oh,
controlling the
okay. I was
Snowman.
going to say.
It's been a while since I've watched that. Don't tell Kachiri, he'll give me hell for that. But speaking of Kachiri, by the way, you know how the Doctor finishes off the body? With the little payment ball plot device, puts it on top of the robot, and then it gets fried by firewalls.
Yes.
He didn't like that.
Oh, well, of course he didn't.
I was fine with that. I mean, it gave a payoff to that little payment ball, or whatever it was. And it wiped the AI so that Nardole and Ramon could take over the body.
Yeah.
At the end, speaking of those two, I didn't feel like they added much at all.
Not really. I barely remember who they are.
Nardole is the bald-headed servant.
And Ramon is the fake husband, right?
Well, actually, no, her real husband. She claims he removed it. Sorry, she removed it from his memory. She could be lying. Doesn't really matter because they don't do anything. They don't do anything.
At least we know in space polyamory is okay.
Oh, yes.
Polygamy.
Oh, also, River Song confirmed bisexual.
I am 10 times okay with that.
My second
Of course,
wife.
we also know Clara is bisexual as well, so woo! Representation!
And we're about to get shut down by MRAs.
You will never take me alive.
Okay, we should probably wrap this up. The other characters, as I say, this was basically a two-person show.
Yeah.
Capaldi and Kingston. The others were sort of there for the ride, with Greg Davies providing some uh, additional entertainment. I didn't really like Ronan and Adult. Fleming had some good lines,
Yeah.
but that's about all he had.
I will say I'm surprised the Harmony and Redemption is surprisingly pleasant for a whole bunch of genocidal maniacs and murderers.
I know, right?
Everybody was so nice. It's like, what's going on?
Well, it's where genocide comes to kick back.
I know, but you think that they wouldn't be polite about it. They wouldn't like be civilized about it. They'd do weird stuff, but no, it was
Why they're not
actually
killing
kind
each
of
other?
cool.
Why they're not killing each other? Yeah, I tend to agree.
I guess maybe I don't know. It was neutral ground of some sort,
Why
and
was
they
it
were
not
all
just
just there
like
to relax.
Battle
But
Royale or the Hunger Games? A slaughter. Maybe because it's a family show.
I don't know. I just didn't expect refined elegance of all things.
Yeah, I feel like at the end, Ramon and Nadal only survived to give the episode this sort of happily ever after feel. The good guys live, the bad guys die, and all is right with the world.
Yeah, but that's Christmas.
Yeah, I mean,
Christmas is corny and cheesy, and it's
they
weird.
make a huge point of saying everybody on this space liner is a ruthless killer.
Yeah, so then it's okay that they're all dead.
It's okay that they're all dead. It's okay that a guy opened up his head and pulled out a metal ball. That's not okay, by the way. Not okay.
Shit happens.
Good response. One more thing about. Oh yeah, Ramon did get one funny moment, but he wasn't even on screen when he was teleporting River and the Doctor away and got it wrong.
Mm.
I like that because it's traditionally accepted in science fiction. Teleports always go to where you want them to go, like on the ground, at the exact coordinates.
Well, not quite. I can think of quite a few times in Star Trek where shit went wrong just because it had to go wrong, otherwise it'd be an easy out.
I don't remember Scott ever dropping Kirk 10 feet off the ground though.
No, but I do remember one time where what's his name? Picard was halfway through teleporting when he really, really didn't want to be teleported at that moment.
Yeah, not good. So anyway, that was the Christmas special. What do you think of it overall?
I thought it was harmless. It was perfectly fine.
Yeah, I think
I mean, it was yeah, it was good humor. It was good laughs. It had a good emotional core.
I think you saying it harmless kind of sums it up perfectly. It's not the best Christmas episode they've ever made, but it was enjoyable.
Yeah,
I think it probably benefited from being a standalone, if I'm being honest. I think if this was part of a series, I'd have been harsher towards it.
yeah. It's not technically a part of the bigger picture. It's just sort of a section from the saga of River Song.
Yeah, it's standalone.
But it definitely works.
And the
It
best
works.
part of it is the chemistry between Capaldi and Kingston.
Oh yeah.
We've been waiting for this ever since it was announced they were going to be on the screen together, and they really made it work.
I'm just I'm just whelmed, I guess.
Yeah, and
it,
those
it
last.
didn't rock the boat. It didn't, do anything like, holy crap, I can't believe they did that.
It's middle
It
of the
was,
road apart from the last 10 minutes,
yeah.
which elevates it because I think that's going to be a scene that's remembered for quite some time.
I will say one thing I really didn't like was at the end where they had and they both lived happily ever after thing at the end. It's like, fuck you.
Yeah, but then they turned that on its head by removing the words. It says just they both lived happily. I thought it was just going to
Yeah.
be they both lived. And if
Yeah.
that's the final time that we really do see River Song in Doctor Who, I'd say she goes out on a high note.
Yeah.
I mean, Alex
Yeah.
Kingston won't like me for saying this, but she's not exactly the youngest actress out there.
Neither is Capaldi,
Neither is
really.
Capaldi, so they've only got so long in their acting careers, and they probably want to move on to other roles. So yeah, that might be the last time we see her. If it is, then she goes out on a high note.
I am disappointed that I don't remember if she ever actually did this, but I am disappointed that she never once said to him, "Wow, you're really old."
I don't think she did.
No, and it's like that would have been so fun.
She said she was 200 years old, but never mentioned how he was old. We did get the. What do you think of my new body? I'll let you know. That was pretty
Well,
great.
they do have 24, 27, however long it was on Beryllium,
24 years.
she'll get to know his body
Oh,
really
she'll get to
well.
know it like a glove. So
That sounds really creepy when we say it like that.
it does, doesn't it? I'm
Yes.
not a gynecologist, people. I swear.
Um.
Quick, move on, move on. So this is a little bit of the part where we talk about what's coming up in the new year, but we don't know. We have absolutely no information on Series 10 at all.
Yeah. You know what? Let's just start saying stuff.
There was no trailer. There was no anything. There wasn't even the Doctor will return in. Insert episode name here.
Danny Pink will come back, and he'll be with the Clara that went out on the trip.
Oh, don't start that again. So anyway, we don't know when we'll be back with the next review because we don't know when the next review will be out because we don't know when the next episode will be out. But we'll be there whenever it is. And until then, I'd like to thank my guest, Kat,
Hi.
for helping with this review. Much appreciated, believe me.
Of course.
And all the rest to say is that I've been Rainiac, and I hope you enjoyed this belated review of the Husbands of River song. And until next time, whenever that is, goodbye.
Bye.
Well done, Kat, for persevering.
You know what I just realized?
What?
After that last really bad joke, I should have said, the aristocrats! I'm beating myself up now for not saying that.